In relation then to the Cuan Gaillimhe, which I was actually involved in myself in setting up and putting in the application a number of years ago, we got the go-ahead in 2016 along with an Educate Together. It started for 2 years in a building with an insurance company on the first floor. That we've now moved into prefabs at the back of an Educate Together school in Knocknacarra, and have been there really since 2018, waiting to hear. And I know you'll know this, Minister, that patronage was moved over from Lifeways to the ETB, to the GRETB in 2019. But regardless of that, those children are children wherever they are, and they need some certainty. The parents need some certainty that they'll be able to move on. I understand that it may be up to 48 months for them to be able to move, and there's still no concrete indication that the space is available on another school grounds, which is what's being looked at. But I do know that they have they have an intake of 94 in total between the years that are already there for this September, and there is absolutely no space beyond that. Now, they have put in a grant for emergency works, and I do understand that it was turned down, but that it is being appealed. I think that it's important to realise that even if that emergency grant was given, it wouldn't be ready for September. So we are actually talking about preparation for the following year, but also there isn't the space there for special needs. Neither of these two schools have an ASD unit, so I'm really looking to you, Minister, to expedite it and to see what you might be able to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Minister, you have 4 minutes. Thank you.
And thank you to the Senator, and I know these are two cases of particular interest, and I acknowledge, Senator, that you've raised them on a consistent basis. In relation to Cuan Gaillimhe Community National School, the requirement for a new site for the provision of an 8-classroom extendable to 16-classroom primary school with special educational needs base for Cuan Gaillimhe National School was established in September 2015, when it opened in temporary accommodation in a site shared with Knocknacarra Educate Together National School, which is accommodated in a permanent structure. Cuan Gaillimhe is a multi-denominational co-education school and located in the Galway school planning area. The school opened, as I've said, in September 15 under the patronage of Lifeways Ireland with an enrolment of 10 pupils, which has since increased to 66. In August 2019, the patronage changed to Galway Roscommon ETB. A project for a new school building for Cuan Gaillimhe is on the Department's 6-year capital programme. In line with the policy on the use of state assets, the Department is seeking to maximise the use of sites already in the Minister's ownership and of available properties in the ownership of other state bodies. The Department also consults with local authorities in line with the Memorandum of Understanding for the acquisition of school sites to assist the Department to identify suitable sites and also seek the views of the local authority with regard to any potential site options. As the school is a community national school where the ETB is the patron, the site acquisition has been devolved to the ETB, who are currently working closely with the Council. Discussions between the ETB and the Council in respect of the acquisition of the preferred site are at an extremely advanced stage. So that's the up-to-date from the Department. Thank you.
Thank you, 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, Minister. I appreciate that update, and thank you for putting it high on your list of priorities, because I think that we do recognise that multi-denominational aspect is something that's in the programme for government. We have a commitment there around 400 having 400 multi-denominational schools in the programme for government, and we need to make sure that they also have the school buildings and that we're not just allocating patronage, as I know you know and you have that commitment. And I certainly think that one of the issues is the fact that an awful lot of the new schools are multi-denominational, means that a lot of the children in those schools are actually faced then with temporary accommodation. And so I think we need to do all we can to expedite that. But planning is an ongoing issue in lots of areas across local government, and schools are no different. I'd just like to say one quick point, and that is that because it's on the east of the city and it has such a wide remit, that school transport is also an issue, and given the small number that they can now take in, and the fact that you have to have 10 pupils from an area, that it becomes really difficult, and we actually have no school buses coming from the east of the city at all, none from Moore or beyond. So that needs to be addressed also, if it's truly to actually cater for the demographics, as you say, and ethos isn't really fully taken into account either. So again, it becomes more and more difficult. Thank you, Minister.
Senator.
Yeah.
Minister, you have 1 minute.
Yeah, again, thank you, Senator. And again, I do want to acknowledge your personal engagement on an ongoing basis in relation to these two schools. And I will commit to you that we will expedite them as quickly as we possibly can. There is, as you will appreciate, you know, a considerable body of work when a number of different sites have to be technically assessed and all of that, but we will do all that we can to expedite as quickly as possible. In relation to the emergency works, as you've raised regarding Cuan, again, we will take a look at that and see what the situation is, and equally so the school transport, and you do make the point in relation to you know, the requirement for 10 and all of that, but it, you know, given the current situation, we will also take a look at that. I'm very conscious, and you made the point earlier, you know, of the role of the staff and the school communities and the imposition that it is on, that is placed on them when they're in a temporary accommodation. I don't for 1 minute underestimate the difficulties, and particularly so those challenges, I suppose, are all the more heightened and enhanced in the current climate. So I do want to acknowledge the very high standard of work and the generosity really that does come from school communities who are in situations as you have outlined, and I particularly want to acknowledge that in relation to the two schools that you've highlighted. But I will give you the assurance, Senator, that we will expedite and move forward as quickly as we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Now call on Senator Eugene Murphy. The need for the Minister for Agriculture, Food and the Marine to consider releasing the Land Commission records from 18